Hey, everybody! Welcome to Let's Talk Physical Media. I'm sorry, I screwed that up. Hey, everybody! Welcome to Let's Talk Physical Media Live, the show we do every single Wednesday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern Time over here on YouTube. Hopefully, you guys are here checking us out, enjoying what we're doing. This is the weekly show where we talk about all the news in the world of physical media and just, news in general when it comes to film, because we do have some, news that's going to affect not just physical media, but movies in general that we're going to be discussing here today. So, hopefully the chat's better this week compared to last week. I always like to double check right at the beginning to make sure everything is going to be a-okay. So I hope you guys are all having a great night. It was a pretty busy news week in the world of physical media. Obviously, we got Arrow Video announcing their May stuff coming up, which I can't believe we're already talking about May. It looks like Insomniac's here. What's up, buddy? Glad you could pop in. As always, appreciate you showing up. But yeah, I guess we'll probably have to start with Arrow Video, right? Before we get into like the Paramount Warner Brothers deal, because I do want to discuss that with everybody and maybe discuss Scream 7 with everyone. So we'll get into that. Cowabunga, dude. What's up, buddy? As always, every week, want to let you know, love that thumbnail. At least the chat's working good this week after last week's debacle. Sorry about that again. YouTube really let us down last week, as unfortunately sometimes does happen. So yeah, right out of the gate, we got, look at this, Arrow Video's May announcement. So a lot of this stuff is for the UK, which I was surprised about. I know one's going to really upset people. Mona Lisa, that's a movie that I actually haven't seen before. That's getting a 4K Blu-ray release. The Dollars Trilogy is getting a new triple pack 4K Blu-ray release. We'll talk about that controversy. Nightbreed, which already has a US release from Shout Factory that I have. Robin Hood, that's the 1991 version that stars Kevin Costner. Thinking about getting that. Another big one is Blue Thunder that I've never seen before, but I heard is great. So I'm gonna have to I might actually grab that one. Mr. Smelly Potato, our channel bankroll member. Thank you, buddy, for popping in. Appreciate everything you do here for the channel. And Frank cost me more money, so my arrow car will have to wait. LOL. Frank, that's what Frank does. Frank still hasn't gotten to why I didn't bring it up the other night about Backdraft. I figured we're over there talking action movies. I was gonna bring it up and say, hey, maybe we should add that to the action movie list. But I was on Frank's show on Monday. If you guys want to check that out, we did kind of a March Madness style ranking the countdown to what the best action film is of all time. Some stuff I disagree with, some stuff I did agree with. The winner, I did pick against it, but it actually was a tie that came down to the fan vote. I'm not going to spoil it for you guys, so I do think you guys should go in there and check it out, because we did have a lot of fun. Let's see, so I get some pictures of all the stuff. So yeah, here's what Mona Lisa looks like. Pretty nice looking 4K Blu-ray here. I don't think that's one of my favorites, but I also haven't seen it. I saw the Dollars Trilogy, and I prefer the individual boxes. So I already have the individual boxes, so that's really the whole big thing that I know some people are upset about. We didn't talk about this one as well. GI Samurai. You guys know anything about that? I've never actually seen that movie. But yes, this is the big one that I know this actually caused a little bit of a controversy. So last year, you guys will recall that these all got individual releases, came out. They were originally supposed to come out in April, May, and June. They kind of had some delays. We had two come out in May, and then I think the other one came out, I want to say, in August. Like, we had a fistful of dollars for a few dollars more. And then the good, the bad, and the ugly. And that one came out at the very end. And the reason that they were being individually released and not in a nice triple pack like this was supposedly for the same reason that the Kino Lorber US releases didn't come out in triple packs, is because for the rights, for some reason, don't allow that. But I guess they worked it out. This isn't necessarily new from Arrow Video or anything like this. They do this a lot. Like if you bought the Psycho box set, they kind of gave you a stripped down version. The Hellraiser box set, they gave you a stripped down version. And this is the Dollars Trilogy stripped down version. I need to make a meme of the Wolverine meme where you in the picture put put the poster art of Speed. LOL. I would love that. I've seen your work before, so I would appreciate it. What you did with the Patriot stuff was great. I've shown people at work that for a while. Very impressive stuff. So you do you have a talent inside me. I wish I was on that bus. Keep it above 50. I felt like I was the only person picking against aliens and picking really going to bat for Speed. Oh, look, the dog coming. Hi, Leia. You want to stay in here, like? My dog popped in here. But yeah, so the Dollars Trilogy, I thought these were all fantastic releases, way better than the US releases that we got here. And the only thing is not everybody does have a region B player. So if you don't have a region B player, it's going to be hard to check out the special features, but there are workarounds, and I always recommend these because I do absolutely love the Dollar Trilogy. I would like to get the Dollar Trilogy box set. I think it looks nice. I don't have the movies on 4K. So yeah, like this is the thing. Like I know some people were upset because they probably would have wanted to buy this last year and they felt like they got back boxed into like buying the Arrow Video Morbidly Obese boxes. Now, for me, I'm happy I have them already, but this is great for people who don't have them. So I don't really mind this. I think some people get a little upset that they were like limited edition exclusives, and or maybe they would have liked to save some space with this. But there's still some stuff that's exclusive. Like you get the posters here, but this is like a stripped down book compared to like each one of the obese boxes from last year had their own individually packed books. So it was a little bit of a different thing. So it does still feel a little bit exclusive if you were to grab that last year. And you have the box design that is different. So this is great for people who haven't grabbed it yet. And like I said, these are the definitive 4K Blu-rays, way better than the US releases from Kino Lorber, which seems to happen often with Kino Lorber, like the Silence of the Lambs 4K Blu-ray release. The US edition from Kino Lorber is much worse than the Silence of the Lambs version. And I'm curious now about Nightbreed because I like Nightbreed a lot, and I would have liked to get that probably through our video. But it's the same thing like with the the Killing, the Better Tomorrow movies, and of course Hard Boiled. Like those movies are getting the Dolby Atmos treatment, where here in the US we didn't get that. Zup, do you see him? See who managed to stay up. I appreciate that. The Islamic psycho, or I'm always gonna say that, the Icelandic psycho. Appreciate you staying up to hang out for a little while. Hopefully you're having a great night, my friend. It's stripped down, but at least Arrow doesn't employ WB and put the movies in a stupid cardboard sleeves. Yes, that's the other thing, because WB, I feel like with their AI converted art, they really make you feel like you're getting ripped off with their converted shit. I really hate that. So they did a great job. I think the artwork is very nice on this, and I don't mind it. I'm not as upset as other people, but I did see that some people were upset because I feel like they thought that this wouldn't ever exist. But this is not really anything new. I mean, Arrow Video does try and offer like an option later down the line that's a little bit cheaper, and you still, if you bought the obese boxes last year, you still have that exclusivity to some things, and now everyone can get this, which is how it always should be, because like we don't want 4K Blu-rays to like disappear like that where people can't get them. If they offer like a simplified version, yeah, I had this happen with movies like Django and Tremors, where I missed out on the Arrow Video the fat box releases, and I ended up having to settle for the standard release. I was just happy to get the discs because that's really all that matters most. Eli's here. What's up, buddy? How you doing? Hopefully you're having a good night. Uh, Rico, now will you buy Gone with the Wind 4K right away or wait for the box set? Well, we'll get into Gone with the Wind in a little while. It's on the docket for tonight. Like you said, this is what Arrow does. Why is anyone surprised at this point? Exactly. I don't know why people were surprised. I just felt like this month overall was a little bit of a letdown in just like the announcements. Like, I'm not the world's biggest fan of Robin Hood now. I did hear that Blue Thunder, which is a movie I have never seen before, is great and is right up my alley. So maybe I'll check that out just because, it sounds like something I would be interested in, which you guys can take a look at that right here if you'd like. So maybe I'll have to check it out. Do we know the price of that trilogy? I actually don't care for a fistful of dollars. Just have the other two. Yeah, I mean, and I get that. That's the other thing. Like now you'll be forced, like you can't buy them separately if you don't like the entire trilogy. I love the entire trilogy, but I also understand why people don't like if they don't like a certain one in there. I like to watch them as a complete set. I love them both. I'm not entirely too sure what the price is yet, but Jay Van Gool, what's up? I think I heard 150, but that sounds wrong. Can't wait for their release of Enter the Video Store Volume 2. I know. Do we know what's going to be in that set, Eli? Because I would love to check it out. I missed out on the first one, but I can still grab it. I know that. I watched the trailer for Wild Movie Concept. Reminded me of Demolition Man in the some aspects. That's what I've heard, and it sounds like Rico is actually one of the people who told me it was good. Blue Thunder is a goose movie, so you invite your cousin and watch with plenty of beer and fast food. Well, I can't really do any of that anymore with my stomach, so I'll just have to watch it. It is a good movie, so I think that's going to be probably the movie I end up grabbing in May from Arrow Video. It just seems like it's like the perfect release for that month. So, and it sounds like something that I would really enjoy. Getting the slipcover treatment looks pretty good, very interesting, and it's one that slipped by me, so I can make up for it. Mesa looking pretty good. The Haunting coming to 4K. Excited for that. Oh yes, I absolutely am. So let's actually find that in here too, because that's a big one. The Haunting. Yeah, so this is the 1963 version. There was also a 1999 version, but this most famously, more recently, people probably know that this is the same adaptation that would have become The Haunting of Hill House, which directed by Mike Flanagan, which is one of my favorite miniseries of all time. And it's mainly because I really love Mike Flanagan. But this version is also very, very, very good, and it's probably the best theatrically released film. And that's going to be coming out in May. Do you guys feel like we're getting less stuff from Scream Factory now, like because of like their new deal? I feel like we used to get like a lot more releases each month, but it just could be kind of in line with what's been going on. Uh, there we go. Yeah, exactly. Thought of the Haunting Blu-ray is good enough transfer. So I don't own the Haunting yet, so I'll probably end up grabbing this on 4K as well. The remake sucks. Yeah, the remake came out. I forget what the name of that studio was, but that was like the studio that gave us Ghost Ship, 13 Ghosts. They were kind of giving us like a bunch of like horror movie remakes of the time, and one of them was The Haunting, and it really isn't that good. I know some people who like it though, so I can't knock it completely. What's up, Aaron Click? Thanks for popping in here, buddy. Hope you're having a great night. Yes, that was a big one. And then the other one, obviously, is Gone with the Wind. That's a huge, huge, huge release. Just picked up the Tenacious D Pick of Destiny, great movie from Shout for $9.99 from Walmart. That's a steal. I actually still need to grab that movie because it is awesome. Yo, you guys are just talking to each other. I do love Tenacious D and the Pick. Love the band. Pick of Destiny is great. Meatloaf is in it, by the way. If you guys haven't seen that, check it out. It started off fine. I just think it took a weird CGI mess turn in the remake Haunting. That is, yeah, it's very much of that late 90s, early 2000s kind of era horror. That same studio, just that they kind of had those movies that were, I would say that they're all just kind of fine, if not skippable. Like, that they're nothing like no great horror movies came out of that studio. And the Haunting remake, like Mike Flanagan's version of the miniseries, if you've never seen it, that's the absolute way to go. I like the new Haunting movie. It's DreamWorks. Okay, see, some J Van Gould likes it, so like I said, some people do enjoy it. Um, it's that W. Is that Whitey? Yeah. Look at my buddy Anthony from work. Thanks for popping in here, buddy. Yeah, for my regular Joe job. I just saw Anthony not too long ago too, so you get to see my face again, buddy. Good evening, John. Good evening, Jeff. Thanks for popping in. That's John Doe Juggalo. He has a great YouTube channel as well. Make sure you guys are subscribed to that. Jeff, yeah, Jeff is the man. Never forget about how good Jeff is. Paul Bell's here. Do you feel you need to keep the backup 4K player like I do? I am paranoid that it will get hard to see. Somebody made fun of me for this pretty recently. So I do have I have two 4K players and I have a Series X, which is shaky with the player, but I keep my Sony around. But I do want to buy another Panasonic unopened just in case, because I'm afraid for the exact same reason as you. So I don't think you're crazy at all. My cousin Matt he's like, we're never gonna run out of 4K players. I'm not so sure about that. I'm really not. So I'm always a little nervous, and I always try and I want to eventually save up and buy another 4K player just as a backup. Yo, bro, I appreciate you popping in, man. Uh, you guys all just chatting with each other. I couldn't afford a backup 4K player. LOL. Yeah, well, I had the Sony, and then I replaced it with the Panasonic, and now I have the Sony in the bedroom, but it really doesn't get used. I usually like to watch everything on my main setup, so it just kind of sits there. And like that's just kind of if like say something happens to the Panasonic and I need to replace it. Luckily, like the thing is, if you buy it off of Amazon, you can like buy it through a firm or shop pay. So I have a plan in case because I have to review the 4K. So I have a plan if that ever happens. But I would like a backup 4K player, like kind of unopened, just in case. Like with the way things are going with AI and the apocalypse, I feel like I want to have at least a way for me to watch movies. And I just need I would like even like a backup TV, but that's like way down the line when like money is flowing, which is probably never going to happen. Have pre-order links dropped anywhere for Fight Club? Not yet. I would like all the vendors we use don't have them yet. Nobody has that yet, and nobody's done Moneyball yet either, which I've been keeping an eye on for both of them. They said that they won't come out until we get a little bit closer to that date. My Series X sucks as a 4K, which is why I got my Panasonic. It's a terrible it has a hard time. You can clearly tell it's not designed for that. And like, I feel like I have to put the disc in like 3 times for it to get going. And then of course you don't have Dolby Vision. So the Panasonic, I still think is the best bang for your buck. The Sony's good. Like I don't have too many issues with the Sony player. It never had it. Like my Panasonic sometimes can be a little glitchy where I have to like take the disc out, put it back in, and usually it'll work on the second time. Sometimes you got to restart it. So it has its problems. I never had that problem with the Sony player, but I just feel like the Panasonic has some great upscaling. Oh man, I haven't seen Gone with the Wind yet. So funny story about Gone with the Wind. This was like the biggest movie on my list of movies that I had never seen before. And then last year I did a video on it. I finally watched it for the first time because I was waiting for a 4K to finally see it. And then I saw it. And now I'll still get the 4K in the fall. Now it's an all-timer, but it is a very flawed film, I have to admit. Like obviously this is something looking at it's almost like a you know a Southern sympathizer film. Like it's looking from the South side of view of like the Civil War and how they kind of felt about slavery. So a little fucked up, honestly, if you look at it now in 2026. But it's still a great film, and even the main like love story, like the girl, she's fucking terrible. Like she really doesn't deserve love, the way she treats what's his name, Kale Clark Gable. Like she doesn't deserve it. She does not deserve him. Quite frankly, my dear, I do not give a damn. Which I heard that before I even had seen the movie. But this is one of the best looking movies of all time, and I'm sure it's going to look phenomenal on 4K Blu-ray. But you got to set 4 hours aside for it, so have fun with that. But I still think the time does fly. It's a good movie, like I said, flawed but good. I was at Walmart earlier today. They had a good selection of movies. I thought about getting Pick of Destiny, but I got Little Nicky instead and End of Watch Steelbook. I got to grab that End of Watch Steelbook. So they have a lot of shout stuff there, which is pretty cool. So you could have maybe I should step into my Walmart and see if they have anything worthwhile. I have two Sony players and an LG, kind of like my LG best overall. Was like I never have 4K now. Yeah, of course, newer consoles. That's the thing with the consoles, like they have it in there as well. Skynet will take over. That's the problem, Anthony. That is the problem. They're coming for us, and we know it. Player is fantastic. I have the region free 4K player. See, I don't have the region free 4K player, but I have the workaround on my Panasonic, and you can thank Frank from Frank's Medium Reviews for teaching you. He has a video on it that will show you how to do the workaround that if you just have the regular Panasonic A20 like I do. 4K Blu-ray discs are always region free, and a lot of this time, like they'll give you they'll say it's region locked, and then the region B discs are locked, and then they're not locked. Like I think they just kind of like try and deter you from buying that. But 4K Blu-rays, that's the beauty of it, is that they are region B, they're region locked. What did Faith think about Gone with the Wind? As far as a love story, she actually always liked that movie because it's one of her mom's favorite movies. So she always liked Gone with the Wind. She had actually seen it before I did. She couldn't believe that I hadn't seen it. Just like one of those movies that slipped by me and never had the time to really check it out. I saw a lot of movies in school, and like for some reason we just never did Gone with the Wind, probably because of its subject matter and how it holds up today. But it's still, a great film. It's just like I said, it's got some with a few clicks of a button, all Panasonic aids to become exactly. That's what I was trying to get at, Insomniac. That is the truth. Like all Panasonics can be region free. It's not very difficult. Like check out Frank's video if you want to actually find out how to do that, and then you don't have to ever worry about region locked Blu-rays ever again. Because if you do buy that Good, the Bad, the Ugly trilogy here in the United States and have it imported from the UK, just know that all those second discs, all the special features are locked on a region B player. So, you got to have a workaround or an actual region free player. Oh man, I don't like the look of End of Watch. It would look like the film the film knows one of my favorites. Yeah, that's the thing. It's only right now on a steelbook, and like it's that studio. I'm drawing a blank on the studio that has the deal with Shout Now. That's how we got an End of Watch and Nightcrawler on 4K. But it's pretty cool that End of Watch is on 4K. It's a great film. Great film. Again, I must reiterate, Skynet is your friend. We do have to make sure we kiss Skynet's ring, because once they do take over, we don't want them to take us out. You saw what happens in the beginning of the Terminator, right? And like when they're living in the future, they're watching TV and it's just a fire to keep them warm. So really don't want that to happen. I don't need them wiping me out. But again, don't come to me if there's an apocalypse. I'm just going to sit here with my movies until I eventually die, because there's no way I'm saving anybody, including myself. Same thing with in a zombie apocalypse. It's not going to go good for you guys if you're banking on me being the guy. I know I'm going to lead you to failure. I'm sorry. I have a region-free Blu-ray player. Do you think there is much of a need to get a region-free 4K player as well? No, I don't, because that's the 4K is a region-free as it is, and all you would need is like a region-free Blu-ray player to watch those region-free Blu-rays. That's it. Region-locked Blu-ray. So you wouldn't really need a 4K player for that. That would just kind of be like overkill at that point. Unless you just want to have one player and not have to constantly switch. I don't know how your setup is, like how many outlets you have, or how many like ports you're using or anything like that. Like I don't know, like maybe one day I'll buy just but my next Panasonic, like I said, if I ever have the money, maybe I'll just buy the region free 4K player, even though it's really simple to work around. Not entirely too sure. Insomniac is the man. He knows, he's smart. Frankenhooker 4K Frankenhooker 4K Blu-ray have they was just announced 5,000 copies, supposedly 5,000 copies, and I made sure I pre-ordered one of those copies. Let's find that actually right here. The little so right here, Frankenhooker coming to 4K Blu-ray. Yeah, I already pre-ordered this. I had to pre-order it immediately. If you guys been following me for a while now, you know I'm a big fan of Frankenhooker. One of the best like B movies of all time, in my opinion. Great Frankenstein adaptation. What happens when your fiance gets blown up, and she well, first she gets run over by a freaking by a lawnmower, dies, and he wants to bring her back to life, so he blows up a few hookers and takes their body parts, puts them back together, and thinks, oh, she'll come back normal. Well, she still wants to be a lady of the night and get back out there working, so she's always like, you got any money? Frankenhooker is great. I had to pre-order that. One of the first things I did, made sure I grabbed it as fast as I could. Let's see where else. Where are we at on here? Paul Bell said, I am watching all the Hitchcock movies between 1940 and 1903 left to go. I am looking forward to your ranking video. Yes, that's going to be also on the Let's Talk Movies podcast YouTube page. So make sure you go over there and subscribe as well. Which, you know what? Let me share that link in the comments so you guys could go subscribe there. Because, it's one of our that's where we're going to be doing that. And our first live show is going to be next week, actually, as well, on that channel. So on Monday, it won't be on this channel, the live stream. It's going to be over on the Let's Talk Movies podcast live stream. So if you like the live streams that we do over here, make sure you guys go over there and subscribe as well, because that's going to be the new thing. We're going to be doing once a month, David and I, aka Shamrock Balls, over on that channel. So we would like, of course, if you guys could go over there, subscribe. Trying to, let's see. How do I get a shareable link, though? That's always the question, right? Isn't it? Let's see. We got this one scheduled, so okay, here we go. So, all right. I'm going to post this in the comments. So this is the link to Monday's live show. We're actually going to be talking about Arrow Video, our favorite Arrow Video releases, guys. So if you want to come over there as well, and we're going to be doing kind of a physical media thing, hopefully. So, but that's the link to there, and you guys can subscribe. And next Monday at 4:15 p.m. Eastern time, we're going to be discussing Arrow Video in 2026, what's coming, and what we hope to come to 4K Blu-ray from Arrow Video, or just Blu-ray in general. Yes, region free is great because of some of the Blu-ray only movies are region locked. Yeah, it's always good to at least have a region B or region C as well. Like always have a region free player, like, or at least have the workaround, just because you don't want to lose out on the special features. Some people don't care about special features, and I get that, but if you do, you don't want to miss out on it. Does Barnes and Noble still have a great selection? It depends on the area, because the Barnes and Noble by me, unfortunately not, and everything costs more there. So it's like almost pointless to buy it from them. Every single movie is at least $5 more if you buy it just from them, which is very frustrating, and I don't understand exactly why. Warner Bros-Paramount calls you to say they're making Scream Destination crossover, and are you excited? Well, we'll get into Scream 7 a little bit tonight too, and yeah, no, not anymore. John, you're safe. The aliens are AI, but would see your New York gear. No, you've been through enough. No need to torture you any further. Yeah, this guy's been a Met and Jet fan his whole life. What more can we do to him? They can torture me all they want. I'm already emotionless from what they've done. The Knicks, thankfully, like they just want to play with my heart all the time. I pre-ordered it from Synops, but never ordered them before, so hope it goes well. I've never ordered from Synops as well, but when I saw Frankenhooker, and you know what? They had shop pay, so you could pay in installments as well, which is pretty cool. They're doing the Jason Goes to Hell documentary, which I'm like, maybe I'll grab that. I love Jason Goes to Hell, so it might make sense. Not everybody's a big fan of it. Let's see. Let's keep going down through the comments. We have been robbed of really any of Michael J. Fox's movies on Blu-ray, let alone 4K. We have, other than Back to the Future, do we have anything? We haven't gotten Teen Wolf yet, which is pretty. Oh, you know what though? We did get the Frighteners, which is pretty good because I do love the Frighteners. If I'm being honest, big one for me. I only think Frighteners is the only word Michael J. Fox movie after Back to the Future. I'm not the biggest Frighteners fan either. Really, I love Frighteners. Actually, I think that's one of the most underrated 1990s horror movies out there. It's a great horror comedy directed by Peter Jackson and has a great 4K Blu-ray release from Turbine, which is one of my favorites. Are you getting all three versions of the killer from three different companies? Absolutely not. I can't afford that. I have it already from Shout Factory, and that'll be enough for me because I can't afford. Even though they all have little differences, that's how they get people to double and triple dip. But I already have it once, and that's enough. And it's got a great packaging. I wait for Barnes& and Noble to have them before I buy there. Yeah, that's the thing. And they're better buying online, at least by me. Like I've seen other people go into Barnes& and Noble online, or I've seen them online going into the actual stores, and they have much better selections than the ones that I have by me. I just where I live, I don't think it's like the biggest physical media town. I'm even the Walmart. I haven't been in a while, but I don't think they have like the greatest selection compared to the other ones, like around the country. So it really depends on the area. Let's see. Let's see. Frankenhooker? Yes, Dark Elite Eric. Frankenhooker is a fantastic film. Take my word on it. It's a cheesy B movie, but if you like cheesy B movies, I think you'll like that one. Uh Homeward Bound is a Michael J. Fox movie, right? That might be a must on. I believe that is actually a Michael J. Fox movie if I am correct about that. Ooh, this is a good question. Best non-carry non-Sandler comedy moments. Ooh, I'll have to think about that one. John had the best birthday ever. I saw The Godfather in the cinema. Best way to see it. That is awesome. I've never gotten to see. I haven't in my entire life seen The Godfather on the big screen. I would love to do that one day. That and part two, do like a back-to-back double feature, make a day out of it. It's one of the most essential films of all time, and it's one of the best. Still one of the best. How could you not want to see that? All I want is just some awesome 4K Blu-rays with all the Bond films, like some major editions with all the nerdy stuff. I hope so. I hope I haven't gotten an update this year. And when did the Connery ones come out last year? That was in the summer? No update on like Roger Moore or or even the one Lazenby one or the Dalton. Nothing on Pierce Brosnan. Nothing. Like haven't heard a thing if we're going to be getting those. I really hope we are. I mean, I get why the Connery ones got the full 4K treatment, but I want them all to get that 4K treatment. So fingers crossed that actually happens. John, I respect how much you like me and okay with one edition. It's just nice having the film physically. Exactly. Like I can't afford like that really. I want to buy more movies and I can't afford to have multiple editions of the same film. Even if certain movies, maybe I'll make an exception, but if the disc doesn't change, I don't see a reason to pick it up just for the packaging. It's just not me. Like I know a lot of people who do that, and I understand that. That's what I try and say about everyone's a different kind of physical media collector. For me, it's just as long as I have the movie already, if the disc doesn't change, like if you upgrade the actual scan or the audio, might intrigue me a little bit, but I'm not going to go out of my way and spend the extra money when I can just go buy more movies, which is the ultimate goal for me, to buy just as many of my favorite movies on physical media. Secret of my success, Teen Wolf, Doc Hollywood. That's a good one. Casualty Award. Give us Homeward Bound on 4K Blu-ray. They could do it, right? But they haven't done it yet. I'm going to sit my wife down to watch Can't Buy Me Love. Excellent Patrick Dempsey movie. Speaking of Patrick Dempsey, by the way, I took my nephew to see TMNT's 35th anniversary in theaters a few months back. He absolutely hated it. Really? Oh, man. That's one where David, a.k.a. Shamrock Balls, and I did on the Let's Talk Movies podcast last week, and that's one of our channel bankroll members, Mr. Smelly Potatoes, like one of his all-time favorite films. I can't believe he hated it. I guess it's a product of its time. I get it. Yeah, I get it. That's one of those things that I was thinking about, like this, modern films, like their CGI. I'm like, maybe I'm just getting old. Maybe it's just not for me anymore. I don't know. But I was like, that's pretty disappointing here. But I also understand, as we age, not everything's for us anymore. And I guess that hasn't aged great. So I don't know. The score is fantastic. I think that movie's just one of the best. I saw your review of Ben-Hur. I can't wait to get mine on the 23rd. Oh, it's the best 4K of the year so far. You're going to absolutely love it when you get it. I promise you. Doc Hollywood. Doc Hollywood is a good movie. Good movie. Let's see. I struggle with my multiple discs sometimes because I want to buy, but I don't really have space for it. That's the other problem that I'm having. Is definitely more of the spatial issues that we're all facing today. Like this office is not. I have probably room for like one more rack to the left of this rack. And then I don't know what I'm gonna do. Maybe I can put one over there, but I'm gonna eventually run out of space, and I don't know where I'm gonna put the movies. I might have to go to the ceiling on that again. Like, but yeah, eventually it's gonna all run out, and I don't know if my wife's gonna be happy if I come in the living room and stuff. The new generation don't know about them. If it doesn't have a cell phone in it or a Paw Patrol, it ain't for them. Well, it's like we talked about in the past. It's just that movies in general are like becoming more and more niche, and definitely the movies that people are watching are becoming more and more like Iron Lung is one of the highest grossing films of this year. I haven't seen that. That's by Markiplier. I don't know how good a film that is yet, but I'm gonna check it out. But like that's the movies like the new Super Mario Brother movie coming out, Super Mario Galaxy. I didn't like the first one, but that's not for me again. Like that's for a younger generation of people. And I'm just glad that people go to the movies, but the movies that I like to see, we're getting few and far between of those. And I could be a little bit disappointing, but that's also the way it goes. Yeah, I always choose my films over obtaining the same ones over and over again. Yeah, it's because that way you have more movies to watch, and that's the ultimate goal. Hey, John, how's it going tonight? What's up, Mozart's Ghost? Thanks for popping in here, buddy. I hope you're having a good night. My girls don't like it when they were younger, but they were older when we took them to see it in theaters, and yeah, they liked it. Guess age factored in a lot. That's also another thing. Like some movies don't actually hit you until you get a little bit older. And also some movies just don't age from when you're younger. Like there's plenty of movies like Space Jam. I love Space Jam. I don't know if it's as good as when I was a kid. That's the thing. It was much better in 1996. And now it's just a little bit of nostalgia. Seeing the 4K of Face Off, I have it. Yes, it's actually a very good 4K Blu-ray. Most of the John Woo movies on 4K Blu-ray are great. Never saw Blooped on there, but it looks like something I would like. That's exactly what people have been telling me, and I'm going to grab it for that exact reason because that's what people are saying. I told my 90-year-old mother that Gone with the Wind is coming out this year on 4K. It's her favorite, so you have to buy it and show it to her, and like just like let her see that beautiful looking 4K movie because it is one of the best shot films of all time. Like that no way to spin it other than that. I have no like it's a gorgeous looking film, and that's the reason why I'm gonna grab the 4K. Bro, Iron Lung is great. See that Jeff, who's a big gamer. Hopefully you're enjoying Resident Evil if you got it. It's like I said before, I've made my girls sit down over the years and watch movies. They're grown to appreciate movies more over time. In fact, they prefer the older 80s movies over newer movies, which I love to hear that. The big one, we'll get into it real quick before we get into the, what's it called? Into, where are you? I guess I uploaded this twice, huh? I must have. But anyway, let's show you. We'll talk a little bit about Scream and see if you guys have seen that or if you want to talk about it at all. But I saw Scream 7 last night, and I'm one of the people who's always said that Scream is one of the franchises that doesn't have a bad film in the bunch. They're all pretty good. So this is what the 4K looks like. The 4K, pretty interesting. I actually like the artwork on it. You're gonna get a nice special edition as well, but that's the steelbook all blown out, and the standard edition. So, like, this one's pretty cool. Comes with a little ghost face kind of thing. I saw this movie last night, and it was just not good, guys. I did not enjoy it at all. There's some scenes in there that are pretty good, but as a film, not great. Now I'm like considering, do I even buy the 4K Blu-ray? Like it's kind of like the Rise of Skywalker to me. Do I even want it in my collection? It just felt more like it just really wasn't good. It had bad cinematography and not to mention that third act is awful. The way they wrap things up, just not good. A lot of leaps in logic. And, it was a movie that probably shouldn't have even existed because of everything that happened with the two lead actresses from the last movie and the director all bowing out. And they had Kevin Williamson, the original writer of Scream, come in and write and direct this one. And it just feels like, a cash grab. And you know what? Can't argue with it because it made a lot of money. I just didn't think it was good at all. Resident Evil 9 is super awesome. I'm glad you're all enjoying it, Jeff. That's wonderful. My parents love physical media, and I just bought the Agatha Christie 4K collection. Oh, that's awesome. I know, but a lot of people love Agatha Christie. I'm staying away from Scream 7 talk, LOL. Well, I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm just going to give you my thoughts on it because just some freelance thoughts. I'll take 90s TMT over the genetic K-pop Demon Hunters art style. Kind of like K-pop Demon Hunters, not going to lie. I might even grab the Criterion 4K of it when it comes out. The music's good. I didn't expect to enjoy it. It's a kids movie, but I still really enjoyed it. I heard Scream 7 was stinky. Yeah. Unfortunately, I kind of heard it was bad going in, and I kind of expected it to be bad, and my expectations were real low, and it still wasn't good. So, see, I'm a completionist. I have Scream 7 pre-ordered. LOL. See, that's kind of the thing is like, do I get it? Like, you know what? The only reason I might pre-order and get the 4K is just because that way I can make a video about the movie itself and I can talk spoilers about it like freely on it. But I'm not gonna have anything nice to say, so that might be the only reason I grab it. I don't want any of the Star Wars sequels in my collection. LOL. The only Star Wars sequel I don't have in my collection is Rise of Skywalker. I have everything else. I only have I don't have the sequel trilogy on 4K Blu-ray yet. I only have them on. Actually, I might have got episode 3, but I don't like episode 1 and 2. And I don't know. Some of the Disney stuff really hurt me. Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Insomniac. I appreciate you doing that. Every week he donates 10 subscriptions to people so you can check out my videos earlier. I appreciate that so much that you do it every week. Thank you. I really appreciate that, buddy. Insomniac is the man. Nev Campbell is too old to be the lead in a film. She was fine. She really wasn't the biggest problem in the movie. So if you have a script but don't like this 7, just wait for Black Friday and 9.99 4K Blu-ray. Well, that's probably what I'm doing, is probably waiting for a sale. What's a Markiplier? So that's actually a YouTuber, Markiplier, and a YouTuber who made a film, and he paid for it out of pocket. Like, it's not produced by a major studio or anything, which I admire him do that. So the movie Iron Lung is based on a video game. And like I said, it's one of the higher grossing films of this year. So it's like it got people who were interested. Like, I work with some younger people and they were pretty interested in seeing that movie. And that just goes to show you, like, that's kind of the future of physical media and how things are going, is that they are going to be actually going to the movies to see movies like this. And, that's cool. I'm just glad that people are going to see movies in theaters. That's like the big thing. I want to make sure theaters stay alive. So whatever gets them out there seeing that, I'm all for it. And, would I prefer if they didn't, like, if they went and saw the movies that I like? Absolutely. But, that would be being selfish, don't you think? So I can't, force people. As long as they're seeing movies, hopefully the movies and shows that I like still exist in this world. That's all. They find a place. I only like Scream 1. Scream 4 is probably the next best one, but not working, picking up to me. See, actually, that's how I rank them. I go Scream 1, 4, 3, 5, 2, 6, 7. It's probably off the top of my head. 7's definitely the worst. Very much let me down. Sing the world's greatest song. What is the world's greatest song? For me, I think the greatest song is Silver Springs by Fleetwood Mac. Love that song. He strikes again. That's Insomniac for you. He's a good man. I'm still waiting for my original non-special edition 4Ks that are rumored to be coming. This will be the only Star Wars 4Ks I get. Well, do you see they're going to be re-releasing them on Blu-ray, the trilogies, just in Blu-ray packs, which is so weird. This feels like a cash grab, but the rumor is we're going to get the uncut version of Star Wars in 2027. So the hope would be that we get it on physical media as well. But again, these are just rumors that come around every now and again. I need Scream 2 and 4 steelbooks. I have them all with slipcovers. So if I get Scream 7, I'm just going to get it with a slipcover to complete the collection. Insomniac fertilities this channel all the time. He's a good man. He's a great man. He's a fucking Patriots fan, but that's okay. He's also a big Jeff Gordon fan, and he showed me his Jeff Gordon collection, and that made me very, very jealous because I'm a huge Jeff Gordon fan, and he has all the stuff that I would have wanted growing up. I lost some of my Jeff Gordon and Daniel Jr. stuff, but I didn't lose my diecast. I got to show you my diecast collection one time because it's pretty impressive. And believe it or not, the resale market on those is terrible. Dude, Nev Campbell is 52 years old. And you know what? She plays a mom now. And should she be the lead? Well, I'm not going to get into spoiler territory with this movie because I assume not everyone's seen it yet. I'm just telling you my initial thoughts. Didn't think it was great. I wouldn't even say it was really good. I gave it like a 5 out of 10. What did you think of Chris Stuckman's film Shelley Oaks? Thought it was pretty good, actually. It's cool that Chris Stuckman was one of those guys that kind of got me into YouTube critics. Like, I started to watch like critics on YouTube. Like, he was the first one, and I always really enjoyed his stuff. He kind of, I don't want to like knock him because I still really like him, but when he started making movies or getting into the film business a little bit more, he didn't want to critique people as much anymore, and he kind of only wanted to talk positive, which I understand. But he was a film critic first, and then now he kind of makes movies, and I think he kind of feels like more of an insider, so he doesn't want to insult anymore, which I understand. I can't knock him for that. He's actually making movies now, and it's cool to see a YouTuber like Markiplier go over there and make films. But it just feels like if your job was as a critic, you got to be able to put the critic hat on and like take yourself out. One thing that always frustrates me with like YouTube critics a lot, whether it be physical media or just on the film side of things, when they get, is I feel like they're always very afraid to like bite the hand that feeds. They don't want to not get invited to the early screenings because that helps their business as well. So it's, I scratch your back, you scratch my back. It's the same thing with physical media. They don't want to like lose out on the review copy. So they won't be as hard on the movie as or on the 4K Blu-ray release as they possibly could. So for me, I just pay for it all out of pocket, which hurts me financially, but I also know that like, it gives me the freedom to say whatever the fuck I want to say, honestly. So if I don't like a 4K Blu-ray, I don't feel like, and then no one can accuse me in the comment section, even though some people still have tried of being like a shill for like the company itself, because I'm not. I literally, if I got burned on a 4K, I'm going to tell you I got burned on a 4K. It happens. I appreciate Markiplier did himself without studio influence. Exactly. That's what's pretty cool about Markiplier. Is he literally paid for it out of pocket. Like that's awesome. Like, there's no studio that could have possibly gone in there and heard his film. He literally said what he want. He literally made the movie himself, and the profits go to him because it's his movie. So people went out for Markiplier. I just bought the first 3 Scream movies in a box at $45. Good deal. That's $15 a 4K. That is an awesome, awesome deal. You really can't beat that. Aaron, I recommend the movie. I swear, if you put a few months ago, I hope you get to go when it comes out soon. It's really worth the watch. Something that's pretty cool too. I'm kind of okay with theaters going away. Every time I go to the theater, they're annoying people in there on their phones and getting into fights with people. Yes, that is also very, very true. And I can't deny that that doesn't happen, because it does happen. Have I enjoyed Jordan's three-peat in NASCAR? I mean, he broke history. That's the first team that ever won the first 3 races to start a season. Jeff Gordon did win the first 2 races in 1999 to start the season. But yeah, I think that's awesome, actually. New Scrubs is great. Love the first 2 episodes. I'll be watching the third episode tonight. Hopefully, it really feels like that's insane good for Markiplier. Hopefully, we get exactly what we were more of this, like it's the quality of the original series, not the med school season, but like it feels like in line with what Scrubs was. It almost feels like they didn't leave. I love the first 2 episodes. Scrubs is one of my all-time favorite shows. It is 7:30, so we're gonna do the digital code giveaway and the physical media giveaway real quick before we get into the Paramount Warner Brothers stuff. But these are the codes that are available for the digital code giveaway for these 2. So keep an eye out on them. And we're gonna add this. We're gonna remove that. And we're gonna add the wheel to the stage, and we're gonna spin the wheel. So then we're also gonna do our physical media giveaway for all of our channel bankroll directors and producers tier. But this is the other one. So we're gonna shuffle that up, spin it, see who our 2 lucky winners are. Well, I keep responding to things in the chat. I had the Blu-ray of Shelby Oaks. I still need to rewatch it. When we saw it there, we had a guy snoring for the first third of the movie. Ruined it for me. That's the problem with theaters. That is the problem. People don't seem to understand basic theater etiquette anymore, and it's really unfortunate. All American. Wow, congratulations. Good for you, man. I don't think you've ever won before. So we're gonna remove your name, spin again. Excellent points on the YouTube critic side of things. Yeah, it's a frustrating thing. I try, because the thing is, I know other YouTube critics, and I don't like to insult them. Like, maybe they don't feel like they're being honest, but I always feel like it's like they're always afraid to like bite the hand that feeds, and I get it. I really do. And Sunshine, that's Donna, I believe is her name. So congratulations. You guys know how this works. Reach out to me at letstalkentmt@gmail.com and let me know which of those digital codes you want. As long as you get to me first, you have your choice. But first come, first serve on those. That's always how it works. And we got to let's see this. We're gonna have to remove this one. Stop screen. We're gonna have to share the other screen, and we'll do our members giveaway as well. So if you are a channel member on the producers tier or higher, we do a physical media giveaway, and I'll show you that after we shuffle this up. And let's see who wins. Usually, so everyone's on there a bunch of times. We'll see who's our lucky winner on that end. I want to see a movie, and there was a dude in there walking down the aisle doing a Nazi salute with a Matrix jacket on. He was sitting in the front row recording the movie on his phone. What a piece of shit is what that guy is. It looks like it's gonna be who is it? think it's Ben Ron. Oh, Stone Gasman. That is on the line though. Holy shit. Damn. I think I might give it to both you guys because that is right there. So we'll go Stone Gasman and Ben Rondo. So I'll probably give you guys both it. Because that is right there. Yeah. So let me show you guys what we got up for the giveaways. But here we are. Nightcrawler on 4K Steelbook, 7 4K Blu-ray, Terminator on 4K Blu-ray, The Crow on 4K Blu-ray, The Thing on 4K Blu-ray, The Ring on Blu-ray, Rope on 4K, Color Out of Space, Lego Batman, Pulp Fiction, and Nightmare on Elm Street. So next month I'll also be adding Jurassic Park. So yeah, Ben Rondo, I know you're in here, so you can reach out to me and let me know which of these you want. Because I do think that that's a little too close, a little unfair. So we'll go with that on that one, at least for this time around. Where are we in the chat? Just want to make sure I find. All right. Oh man, I really liked Screen 7. All sequels are cash grabs. Hey, listen, if you liked it, don't let me take it away from you. That's the other thing. Nev Too Old, Gene Hackman was in his 70s in the Royal Tenenbaums, and he was great in that. Only a couple more years he did Welcome to Mooseport. That was his last movie. The last Morgan was Morgan with Kate Mara. I was afraid that dude was going to shoot up the place. Oh my God. Like, I would have been afraid too. A guy doing a fucking Nazi salute. Yeah, I would have been taken right out of that. You got really got kind of burned on that. I'm sorry, because that would definitely bother me for sure. Blasphemy. Theaters are the best way to watch movies. LOL. I love going to the theater. Like, I can't pretend that I don't like going, but they definitely lost a little bit of its luster, especially with how people act in theaters. That's for sure. They definitely don't. I don't know. I would just say like people definitely lost the theater etiquette and the quality of the films from the theaters themselves. They're struggling, so their prices are ridiculously high. I just bought all 3 Dolls films with no slips 6 weeks ago. I'm pissed. Oh well, I might double dip. Happens to me all the time. You're not the first person. It's an unfortunate side effect of being a collector. I have to admit, it's not a fun one, but it's a side effect. I heard that One Battle After Another Steelbooks got delayed again. New date is September, possibly. Yeah, and I don't understand why. What is the reasoning for that? Like, are they going to actually have the special features? Like, what are they going to do better than what we already have? Scrubs is great. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoy it too, Jay Van Gool, because Scrubs is one of my all-time favorite shows. Still is one of my all-time favorite shows. Cinema really has to say, I booked to go see the new Frankenstein movie, even though I saw it on Netflix. Yeah, I mean, I liked the new Frankenstein movie, and we got a new Frankenstein movie coming out this weekend called The Bride, which I'm hoping is good. I'm gonna hopefully see that. The original Star Wars is coming out of the Disney vaults without George re-edits. They'll be pulling that gimmick already. Will they get it right? Will it be as good as people remember? It's like, we got to see if they actually do it, because this rumor does come around every now and again. Because a lot of people do want that. They want that freaking uncut version of all the movies, not the special editions that came out in 1997, but we'll have to wait and see. I hope, because a lot of us have wanted to see that for a while. I didn't know that John snored. I heard I don't snore, David. We'll see though. At Dark Elite, Kathleen Kennedy announced in a little while back she was getting booted pretty heavily at those conventions. Yeah, she now she's not even with them anymore, so who the hell even knows what's going to be happening. Marco, that's how it's unfortunately. Movies I spent a pretty penny on for only them to get re-released them cheaper. Fall Steelbook, RoboCop Steelbook, Scream 1 Steelbook. They always come back around again. That's the whole thing with physical media. Whatever you do, John, don't try and be anyone else. You're great. I appreciate that. That's the one thing you'll always get with me. Good or bad, you're always going to get me. So you got, like I always like to say, I like to use the quote from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I'm the real article. What you see is what you get. For better or for worse, though, I'm sure. She's out. Isn't she still on the docket? Oh, I won? Yeah, I'm going to give you one, Ben Rondo, because that was so close. And you've never won before, so you can pick from one of those. If you want Nightcrawler on Steelbook, you let me know, all right, man? You know where to reach me. Nashville stage actress Taylor Gray Hopkins have been cast in the roles of Chloe and Max, respectively, in the TV series adaptation of Life is Strange video game series. Huh, interesting. I'm trying to watch more TV. I just started watching Godfather of Harlem. Thoughts on the Batman 2022? I loved it. I really enjoyed that movie. I thought the Michael Giacchino score was great. I love Batman, so I'm always gonna I got to try and take my bias out of it when I watch a Batman movie. But I've watched it a bunch of times. I think I got burnt myself out of it a little bit because I've watched it like 5 times since it came out, and I got to give myself a little bit of a break on it. But it's such a good movie, and I love that the influence of Seven. Oh, you want rope? Perfect. I'll set it aside right now for you. Just send me your address, through Instagram or anywhere you want this mailed to, and I will send it to you, Ben Rondo. It'll be next Monday when I go to the post office, but you just let me know where you want that sent to. Darkly, I think she announced they were 4King up the original video, like one of those Marv the May the Fourth be with you things. I hope we actually really do get it. Besides Rope, really? Okay, so you have a nice collection. You're gonna love Rope. That's one of my favorite Hitchcock films. You got to go Nightcrawler. Well, he says he already got it, but I always want people to see Rope. I can always recommend Rope. That's like I said, one of my favorite Hitchcock movies. John, take that movie, The Rain, take it outside and bury it. That movie, my first time thinking messed me up. You know what? That's why I love The Ring, because it's actually one of the movies. The first time I saw it, scared the shit out of me. Only 2 movies ever scared me in my entire life, and The Ring was one of them. And the other one was Poltergeist, because I saw Poltergeist when I was 6 years old. Freaked me the fuck out. So I put those both in my like top 5 favorite horror films of all time because of how scary they were. Nothing else can get me. I wish, but nothing else can. Yeah, man. He was marching down the aisle too while salute in the front row. Weirdos, man. There's a lot of weird people in this world. That's one thing I've certainly learned. A lot of weird people. Why is there no 4K version of Planet of the Apes? That's insane. Well, I think that's because of Disney and Fox. The rumor comes around every now and again that we'll get it on 4K, but we never actually do. My fiance, when we started dating, didn't really get into physical media hype. All she saw is how much better film looked on disc when comparing from Netflix. That's the thing. It's like you'll notice when you go from watching something on streaming to watching it on physical media is because of the compression. Anything you watch digitally, even if it says it's on 4K, it's going to be compressed. There's chances if you have a good player that a Blu-ray will look better than a 4K stream. And I think it's pretty noticeable, in my opinion. At least I've always kind of noticed it. But it might not be for everyone. Yes, Planet of the Apes movies needed 4K badly. I would love at least the original. Star Wars coming out on the 20th of February, 2027. Gotta, listen, it's a big anniversary for it next year. I'm excited. In the cinema. It's that 50 years. Jesus. I have a similar Batman size and all the same place in my room except the Bale's Batman. I actually also have you can see up there, I have the Batman, the Adam West Batman helmet up there, and a picture of Batman 89. So Batman, I love Batman. I just started reading last night the Frank Miller comic, The Dark Knight Returns, that my buddy Billy from work lent me to actually finally check out. So I'm a big Batman guy. Batman 2022 is where he hangs out with the cops while solving crimes. Oh, that's funny. There's a lot of bad to it. Catwoman having absolutely nothing to do. Like I understand that's got mixed feelings, and I understand that. My 2 scariest movie was An American Werewolf in London. Watched it when I was 9. Yeah, see, when you're young, I think that gets and The Ring. Saw it as an adult and was like, nope. Yeah, that movie scared the shit out of me the first time I saw The Ring. I did not expect that to be what it was. And, VHS was still around, so really scared me. I bought at least 60 movies so far, $8 Blu-rays and Amazon, to be honest. Hey, listen, I definitely have gone pretty ham this year on physical media. I'm not gonna lie either. I think my wife's like, you gotta tone back a little bit, and I don't think she's wrong. If you watch a 4K with somebody who has been has bad vision, they're like, I don't see the difference. The type who refuse to wear contacts and I was gonna say I actually do have bad vision, believe it or not. I have pretty bad eyes, but I wear contacts or glasses. And I sit close to the screen, so you can tell the difference if you're looking, no matter what your eyes are at. Trust me on that. As long as you have the right stuff to correct your eyes. You caught up with Fallout Season 2? Not yet, and that's really something I have to get into pretty damn soon because all I've heard is like it's perfection, and I'm a big fan of the games. But I want to make sure that we get on the main topic today, which is Warner Brothers and Warner Brothers, Netflix, and Paramount, that whole debacle. So I want to get your guys' thoughts on that too in the comments, like today, because obviously you guys heard that Paramount bought in a hostile takeover, bought Warner Brothers, which it's kind of scary. I thought it was going to be a lose-lose situation regardless of who bought it, whether it was Netflix or Paramount, but Paramount ended up winning the deal. Netflix had 4 days to respond. They said nope, so it's officially going to be Paramount. They have already said they're going to be committing 30 films to the theaters, 15 from Warner Brothers, 15 from Paramount. They're going to merge HBO Max with Paramount and have a Paramount Plus and have a different name for it. I'm a little bit scared, if I'm being honest. I don't really know. Not just all that, but it's the media side of things. Also, that's kind of scary. They'll be buying CNN, so like Paramount will own CBS and CNN. And if you know, like the guy who runs Paramount, that is Donald Trump's son-in-law. So like, you get the fear that it's going to be one company owning the media and just pushing one side of the government. But that's one big thing. And then also people are going to be losing their jobs. I always don't like it when we have these mergers because people lose their jobs at these studios. But if they're going to be committing to physical media still and to theaters, like, this could be a positive. But it's a wait and see on it all. So I would love to hear what you guys think of that whole thing as well. Loved Batman 2022, except for the last half hour. Yeah, it did. I love the sight of him like being with the light in there, because it's like Batman's now the light. He hid in the darkness the whole time, and now he's actually the one shining light, the one force that's going to be able to actually save Gotham City, where he was kind of doing it for himself because he's got that darkness inside of him. But now he knows that he has to be actually the man of the people, not just fighting crime, but to help the people. And I think it sets up Batman too well. You're the best, John. I got to get up at 4 a.m. to drive to Detroit for work every day. Oh, man, I'm sorry, Ben. Well, I get up at 5 every day, so I understand what you're going through. But go get some rest, man. Definitely appreciate you popping in here. So make sure you send me your address whenever you can, or wherever you want to mail to, friend's address, PO box, wherever you want. And I'll send you out rope, buddy. I'll send it out on Monday. I took 2 people with me to see Batman 20, and they were like, "Why did you drag me to this?" I felt bad. Really? See, I saw Batman twice in theaters that year, and both times I took my brother. We all loved it. John, was Batman comics? Have you read? I've only really read that and The Killing Joke, so this will be only the second one. I've never been a big comic book guy. I've never been a big reader. I'm getting into reading this year. That's kind of been my new thing. Is like I'm trying to read more. I think I've told you guys the story of this I know I've told you, David. But when I was a kid, reading was always a punishment. Like, my dad would take away the video games, the TV, and he'd be like, well, you can go read. And, school always assigning books to you to read. And it always just felt like a chore. And now I'm like, I'm an adult now. I'm well into my 30s. And I'm like, let me go back, and I'm enjoying it. Like, and I missed out on a lot of stuff, but movies still are supreme to me. Like, I like feel like I'm almost cheating on films when I'm not watching it. So my relationship to Batman and to really any other superhero movie. So when I always see like the comic book people get upset with like, certain things, how characters are portrayed in movies or TV shows, I'm like, well, I only know the stuff from the movies. Like, so I don't really get offended by that kind of thing, because I never was somebody who read that or like read the book. Like, my wife is an avid reader. And when we go see movies in theaters, she'll be like, the book was better. And it's like, well, I don't know, because I never read the book. But I'm trying to correct that. We have to correct. But now I have to correct that problem. The Stand from 1994 freaked me out as a kid. I wonder if someone could squeeze that onto a Blu-ray, how it would look. I would be interested to see if they actually gave it a whirl. That's too bad. My 2 cousins had the same thought as great, but the last half hour. A lot of people don't like the last half hour of that movie. I think they prolonged the Joker stuff was unnecessary. Paramount Max could be the new name. It'll be interesting to see what they do. I just really hope that they don't ruin HBO. That's a big fear of mine, because HBO is one. Like, I don't have HBO Max anymore, but I'm afraid. Like, now I'm thinking, should I go in there and make sure I pick up The Sopranos and The Wire on Blu-ray? Because I've been waiting to see if they get a 4K release. Because I know that The Wire was rescanned in 4K a couple of years ago, but I think it's only got a Blu-ray release. And those are my 2 favorite shows. So I'm like, so do I go grab that now? That's always my whole thing. Because HBO will release all their shows on physical media. Like, all the like the Knights of the Seven Kingdom, Welcome to Derry, and I'll always go grab them, because like, that way I don't got to pay for fucking Max at $28 a month. What's that going to be, like $50 a month for those 2 things? Netflix has zero desire to do theatrical. Is Paramount, unfortunately, is like the lesser of the 2 evils, and that's kind of my general feeling as well. I really didn't want Netflix to get their hands on this because of how, at least for us who like the theater and love physical media, I've seen how Netflix treats physical media. Paramount, not a great physical media company either. They've given us some of the worst 4Ks in existence, but at least they put their movies out on physical media. How does this affect the Warner Brothers deals that are already in place? I have some questions about that, like with the Arrow Video deal. We heard about the recent Vinegar Syndrome deal, but like, I'm hoping it doesn't hurt that. Netflix was saying all the right things, but do you believe these people? I don't believe any of these people, honestly, when it comes to the CEOs. They only care about their fucking money. I don't think they generally care about us anyway, but that's just the world in general. But I worry about us, the movie fans, and how we're gonna get treated first and foremost. You know, everything else is important, but like, how are we gonna get treated? Because we're the ones shelling out the money for this kind of stuff. They were hardcore Marvel fans though, and DC. You know, I was trying to show them DC was good too. F didn't work. You know, it's weird. I like both. I just like I'm a cinephile first and foremost, so I'm not somebody who's like pro Marvel, pro DC. I'm the movies man. As long as the movies are good, I'm gonna go see it. Man, Paramount is inheriting the debt too, so they will probably have to sell off some properties. Just don't know what they will sell. Well, they already announced that they are going to be doing $6 billion of cuts once the deal goes through, and that's where, again, my biggest fear is for the people who work there. Um, I don't want to see people lose their jobs. People at Paramount and Warner Brothers will ultimately lose their jobs. And like you said, like what's going to get cut, they'll probably sell some properties off. I heard from like I don't know if you guys know John Campea. He said he expects James Gunn to resign because he won't want to work for them. Again, these are all just rumors. Like, you know, who knows? Like money can cure all. Everybody's acting like it's a done deal, and while it's basically true as of now, there is the possibility of challenging to the merger. Like I don't want the merger to go through. I personally, all I wanted, and I think the best option would have been for somebody with a lot of money to come in, like Steve Cohen came in for the Mets and like, you know, infuse them with cash. And it's just like basically buying the best players. Or I know that David, aka Shamrock Ball's a Newcastle fan. When Saudi Arabia came in with Newcastle, you know, infuse them with some cash and like actually can help turn around the ship. And I think that would have been the best for Warner Bros. Because you don't want to see a studio now, because now Paramount and Warner Brothers are two of the biggest studios that we've ever had in film history. Like they've been around forever. Now they're going to be one studio. That means we've lost two of our biggest studios and merged them into one. And that really sucks. Like if you grew up in the 90s, you remember Newcastle, not Newcastle. You remember New Line Cinema. You remember TriStar. You remember Columbia. Those are all owned by different different parent companies. Now Paramount will own Warner Brothers, who owns New Line Cinema. Sony owns TriStar and Columbia. Like all these studios are just, you know, few and far between now. And I get it. The movie business isn't doing great. And this is the only way to probably keep them around. What's up, Obi? So, like, that's just unfortunately the way the business kind of works. But, you know, I understand the movie business. I hear LA is not doing great and it sucks. It's just, I really hate to see what's happening to Warner Brothers kind of go to that way because I love Warner Brothers. And I think last year they had some of the, like, their two best movies of last year were Sinners and One Battle After Another, both released by Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers did Weapons. Like, are we going to still get those movies? I hope so. You know, come on, John. Paramount has done plenty of woke crap. His associate with Trump will have zero influence. It hasn't so far. It's fear mongering. I hope not. And listen, I totally get what you're saying. We know that Paramount, like that's the two sides of the coin. The Trump interference, I hope it doesn't happen. I really do. I will have to wait and see on that. I'm not, you know, I'm skeptical. I mean, it is his son-in-law, and actually his father, the son-in-law's father, just bought a place near Mar-a-Lago with Trump. I don't want to see any influence from anyone. I think it should be hands off. Personally, what I want is the like what happened with Fox a couple years ago when they did the Disney Fox merger. Is you pull Fox, like, you know how they pulled Fox News out so it didn't have, so that it couldn't be owned by Disney, because then they would have turned Fox News into a, you know, a Democratic kind of channel. Well, you know, pull CNN out so that can't happen as well. Like, you know, leave them independent. In my opinion, just my 2 cents on the matter. Don't watch any of that fucking channels. Don't watch Fox News. Don't watch CNN. Don't watch NBC. Don't watch CBS. Don't get your news from any of them because they both have a side to push. So you know which sides. The newer Transformers comics are amazing. See, I got to get into comics books and reading. I know I do. I just read Batman Year One and The Long Halloween. I have to do it. You know what? Maybe that'll be my next purchases. I'll start buying more. Well, Paramount's physical media aren't as good as Warner Brothers. I think we could come to a realize so much is a bit stressful. That's the other thing, is like Warner Brothers also puts out great physical release. They've gotten so much better. You know, they still put out the lazy release here and there, Boogie Nights, One Battle After Another, their version of the Nice Guys. But like this year, they did Ben-Hur. They did All the President's Men. Great physical releases. Paramount gave us Footloose and Tommy Boy and fucking Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Some of the worst releases. So let's just hope that maybe Warner Brothers comes in and is like, hey, you guys, we're gonna handle the Paramount stuff from here. All right, we're gonna give them we're gonna correct the wrongs when it comes to Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I hope so, at least. I highly recommend reading Nightfall. It's the best Batman stuff, and everybody always talks about Frank Miller stuff. That's super overrated. I've only really read the Frank Miller stuff, and I've enjoyed it so far. Let's talk. How will improve what's it called? I'm sorry. Lazaro's Hasbro Cinematic Universal projects. I don't know if this will have an effect on that. Again, this is all kind of still brand new. I hope it doesn't like hurt any of the stuff that's already in place. I ideally you just like hope that the money just comes in and like nothing gets touched, but we'll have to wait and see. The Long Halloween comic is great. You're right at Shamrock Balls. I have a special release of that. Is too awesome. That I've heard is great. I have to definitely give that a read. Do you watch any Hong Kong film? Loving Shaw Scope Volume 4. Yes, I've been in the Hong Kong films this year. By the way, that is a great I love your thumbnail. Spies Like Us. That's a good one with Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd. Great thumbnail. I just got into Hong Kong films like this year. Like I watched all the John Woo stuff and Better Tomorrow trilogy and everything like that. So definitely been doing more. I have to get more into them. I enjoy the work so far. HBO Max, Netflix are cracked down on password sharing, so I stopped watching them. Tubi has all the good movies. Anyway, I just can't do movies with ads. I really can't. TV shows is one thing, but like when it comes to freaking ads with movies, it drives me nuts. I'll buy the movie. I'll just fucking buy it. That's just what I'll do. Like I'll buy the physical release now. Like because I told you guys I bought Lonesome Dove, the miniseries off of Amazon Prime, and I bought it, but they still put ads in. They still put ads in even though you bought it. Like I don't understand that. So I'm like, they really it's literally the Empire, the Star Wars Episode 3 meme. Like you were supposed to fight the enemy, not join them. All these fucking streaming services, they just became cable. Like that's all they did. They're just ad after ad after ad, unless you spend like $30 a month. And I refuse. I'll just buy the movies and the TV shows physically. I can't do it. I feel like fucking Paulie and Goodfellas. It's like, you made me look like a jerk. Now I gotta turn my back on you. And that's what these streaming services did to me. Who was your favorite character in The Wire? I love Bunk. Bunk is one of my favorites, but McNulty was still my favorite, man. Like the scene of him banging the chick on the car and the two street cops pull up. And he's got the girl like laid out in the car. And he still pulls his badge out to show. I'm like, I'm a cop too, even though he's like fucking the girl. And the cops go, of course. Like, of course it's another cop. And of course it's McNulty. But I mean, how do you not like Omar? I love the whole cast. I'm reading Project Hail Mary before the movie comes out. Like, see, I'm excited for the movie. I heard it's great. I heard it's great. I'm hearing really good things about it. I'm very, very, very excited. James Gunn leaving WB is a blessing before he destroys Batman and makes it into another Guardians movie. I like the Guardians movies. I really do. I love the trilogy of Guardians movies, and I really loved his version of the Suicide Squad. I'm a pretty big James Gunn fan. Didn't love his Superman, but to be fair, I'm not the world's biggest Superman fan. So I don't want him to get his hands on Batman. You're absolutely right about that. And the rumor is he will. That kind of style and tone works for certain characters. I didn't think it would work for Superman, but I also didn't think it would work for what's it called? I also didn't really think it would work for Batman. Like Batman's dark. James Gunn doesn't do dark very well. I don't want him ruining Batman. You're 100% right about that. Like, because I'm afraid of that. I'm 100% okay with James Gunn going away. Did you see that new Latner's trailer? Completely wrong vibe for Green Lantern. I bet they never ever read an issue of that comic. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like as far as he goes, he has a certain style that I think blended well with the Suicide Squad, blended very well with the Guardians movies, but he has a certain style, and I don't think he would go well with Batman. You need somebody with a different, darker vision. I get it. Like, he might want to go back to the Adam West days. I just don't think that's I don't think that's a good route in my opinion. But, again, we'll have to wait and see. I don't want that merger to happen either. I'd rather see what you said. Exactly. Just somebody infusing with money, I think, is always the best way for this. But we're not in control of this. It's gonna happen. Like it's gonna probably get pushed through. I'm hyped for Mortal Kombat 2. So am I. I like the first Mortal Kombat film. I know that everyone did, but I thought it was fun, and I'm pretty excited for the second one as well. It'll take 2-3 years for Paramount to change things to get rid of the woke stuff movies. Take a while to get made. Well, did you guys see the Scary Movie 6 trailer? I think we might be shifting more to I don't like to use the word woke because I think that's just like a blanket like insult, but I know what you're saying. Like, pushing a message on us is probably the best way to like put it. And I don't really like them doing that in a movie. And I also think that maybe this is a way for them to bring back comedies because that's the biggest issue. Is like we lost comedies because everyone's always worried about offending people. Relax, it's comedy, all right? Like we got to be able to take a joke. Like I told you guys, I don't have the greatest eyes. My skin is fucking printer paper white. Make fun of me all you want. As long as you're doing it as a joke, I think it's fine. Like, I don't understand where we kind of moved away as a society where we can't make jokes anymore. Um, so, it's gonna have to like change the way we just kind of we got to shift back a little bit. Not everything needs to be a message in a movie. If it's a certain like I talked about in All the President's Men, that's a political movie. You're going in to see a political movie. When you're going to see a Pixar movie, I don't think people like a message drives in their head when they're going to see a Pixar movie. I just don't think people want to have that conversation with their kids after. My 2 cents on that, though. Okay, so uh, it's one of the best. Um, I'm right there with you. I don't want any of the mainstream news either side to be propaganda, period. They're all propaganda. That's the fucking problem. It doesn't matter which side you choose to watch. No one's actually going to give you the news anymore. They're going to give it's all opinionated journalism, and it drives me absolutely nuts. I don't know where we've shifted away. So, and it's become frustrating. It's become very, very frustrating. What is this? Okay. I see what happened here. All right. And Red Eye first ready or not, or first ready or not. Ooh, good question. I'm excited for ready or not too, by the way. Red Eye is great, but I think I'm gonna go ready or not on that. PS my Arrow Black Sunday ship today. Awesome. We're gonna so David AK Shamrock Balls and I think I put it up here next week. We're gonna be doing a live show on our channel, JD Live, right there on David AK Shamrock Balls and I's channel, Let's Talk Movies Podcast. I shared the link earlier. Please go over there and subscribe so you can watch our live show Monday at 4:15. We'll be discussing Arrow video in 2026. That's the plug for that. Let's see. A little late. What's up, John? What's up, Patrick? Yeah, we're gonna be getting out of here soon, but I still appreciate you popping in, man. Hopefully, you're having a great night. I always enjoy seeing you. Tubi ads can be good if you view them as a bathroom break on time, or grab a snack, or time to do a couple curls. It's also that's a good idea. It's also the best way to prevent blind buying. Also, that they have a huge selection. Tubi's great. I'm not gonna knock them. It's a personal problem with me and ads. That's really it. It kind of just kills my immersion. I don't really mind with TV. Like I said, I'm watching The Godfather of Harlem right now, and like it's got ads built in. I've always been kind of understandable with TV and stuff for like what you said. You can look at your phone quick, respond to some emails, do what you got to do. But with movies, I like to be immersed, and anything that breaks that immersion kind of hurts me. So I actually have an opinion on this that you might surprise you, the Islamic Psycho. I think Tom Cruise is better than Dustin Hoffman in Rain Man, in my opinion. He gets the arc. Dustin Hoffman's the same character from beginning to end. He Tom Cruise is the one who has to learn the lesson. He's a fucking asshole in the beginning, and he has to learn to actually love his brother and not be such a greedy prick by the end of the movie and become a good person and actually love his brother for who he is. He blames his brother, like his father leaving the car to his brother. His brother did nothing wrong. His brother has a mental disability, but he actually has to learn to appreciate his brother and love his brother and understand that his brother, despite having the same father, his father, their father was not a good person, but he's the one who has to learn the lesson. I think Tom Cruise gives a great performance in that. Dustin Hoffman, he has a lot of work to do in that movie, but he doesn't get the arc. To be due, it has a killer foreign selection. They do have a good selection. I'm not going to lie. The morons running the studios slit their own throats. They cut out longer theatrical TV rentals, then physical in stores. All the profits has to be recouped somewhere. They did fuck themselves. You're 100% right on that. They did screw themselves over. That's the big thing with them. They hurt themselves and really now they're unfortunately paying the price. Dropping F-bombs every 30 seconds just feels wrong to me. It's like everything with James Gunn has to be edgy. Well, he came out of Trauma. That's kind of like why he's like that. But it's also like he has a weird style and it just doesn't fit with everything. And I don't think he realizes that. Does great with ensemble movies, Guardians, Suicide, but it's totally wrong for DC. I really couldn't agree more, honestly. It really is. Have you seen RE9 gameplays? I have, and I really want to play it. One of my favorite game series. I had a few great hauls in Best Buy back in the days. Said they had the gun, guys. Yeah, I used to love Best Buy. They kind of screwed us over as well. Like by they left physical media. Now they kind of sell physical media, but they don't sell it in store. It's the same. Scary movies are the best. Mock shit and talk on everyone's equally. Exactly. It's like South Park. They don't really pick a side. They just shit on everybody. I said neither. Yeah, I'm excited though for the new Ready or Not. There's always some truth in good comedy, and if people are insecure, they take it the wrong way, and it leads to arguments. Exactly. You know, stereotypes happen for a reason, but if it's all in good fun and good humor, I just think that it's okay. I don't think people seem to understand that a joke is a joke, and I think that people kind of get a little too upset about it sometimes. Gunn doesn't want to make a camp Batman. I hope he doesn't want to make a camp Batman. He's well, he okay. Well, that's good. That's good news that he's not the actual one directing that. I just don't know if that's going to happen anymore. I ordered the Arrow Excalibur. I can't wait for it to arrive. I've heard great things about it. Thanks, John. Just got home from work. Sorry, work. Got home from woke. I like what you did there, my man Patrick. Um, Finally someone who speaks my thoughts on Tom Cruise and Rain Man. Haha. I'm glad that we can agree on that. I just always have felt that way. I know more people are going to come to the defense of Dustin Hoffman, and I get it. He gets the flashy performance, but who has the arc in Rain Man? It's Tom Cruise. Oh man, he just smokes a terrible cigarette in that. Red Eye and the first Raid are great movies. Raid Not 2 seems like a money grab with the same trope. Big family. I'm curious to see how this goes. Because how does it happen to somebody twice? It's like the Scream movies almost. It's like how many times or Jamie Lee Curtis and the fucking Holly? How many times can the same thing happen to the same person? It can only happen once. Tubi is adding Cartoon Network. I saw that actually, which is pretty cool. It's weird to me that much of the younger audiences don't realize that the Blazing Saddles is showing how ridiculous racism is. They don't get it, and I just think they were raised in a different world, unfortunately, because um, I think that's why we kind of have censored movies like The French Connection and Crocodile Dundee. Is like I don't think they understand like satire or spoofs or like like the comedy is commenting on something and it's not and it's just a joke like with Scary Movie 6 coming out like I think hopefully maybe that will change people's perspective, but I do think that the movie studios and the TV show studios, they're all kind of bending the knee because they feel like all of a sudden like cancel culture came around and they had to bend the knee to everybody like oh that was wrong, but it's like it wasn't wrong in the time, and like you can't rewrite history, and I don't think people seem to understand that. And it's like the same thing with Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Like Always Sunny in Philadelphia, the characters are supposed to be the worst people in the world, and I don't think people seem to understand that. They're not like making this look good. They're bad people. It's like with Goodfellas. People like always say, "Oh, you glorifying being a gangster." They all lose in the end. Like, do you not watch the movie and understand that? Watched the new Director to Me to the first time last night. Matador from Pedro Almodovar. Oh, I heard about that. It was a little rough around the edges, but I want to see more of his work. Ooh, Matador. I've never seen that movie. I have to check it out. It's like Descent. Why the F would somebody go back in the cave? Life makes no sense. Exactly. It just you had leaps in logic there. Radiance is good to release Matador on 4K, so I wanted to know if it was worth buying. Undecided. Fair enough. Fair enough. Did go a little bit late tonight, guys, so I'm gonna have to get out of here in a second. But I just want to make sure I respond to all you guys. We had a great show tonight. I'm surprised they didn't edit Raiders of the Lost Ark where Karen Allen saying Indy violated her when she was underage. Don't fucking give them ideas because they will. Like, and I hear that because I listen to a lot of critics and a lot of critics out in LA, and like two of my favorite critics, I love them, but like they can be so far on the left and they get almost offended by everything. And it's like, and I love their work, but it's just like, come on, not you don't, it's almost like everyone wants to be a victim. Like, and it's just, I better stop because I'll get in trouble. So, I'll shut my mouth on that kind of stuff because I really truly do fall in the middle. I don't pick a side. There's no reason to pick a side because I think they're both not really for the best of us. But I feel like they're bowing down to the wrong people. Like we were fine. I don't think we were I don't think we were bad in a bad society. But don't you give them ideas. If they fucking hurt Raiders, I'm gonna be very upset. My favorite critic is Grace Randolph, cause if she says it's good, I know it's bad. Well, that's one thing. Like with my favorite critics, like a lot of time I can tell that I'm not gonna like a movie that they like. But I try and like get a variety of people because I don't really. when it comes to new film, I don't really watch it, unless I like the people because like maybe I know them. Like when it comes to physical media, I don't like to watch any of my favorite critics or anything until after I've seen the movie or I've watched the physical release because unfortunately I'm in the same. Well, I guess not unfortunately. Fortunately, I do reviews myself, and I don't want any outside influence to like hamper my view of something until I see it myself because that can you don't it could just be like unwanted. Like, you might like you hear their voice while you're watching it and you hear their opinion. I like to like give my opinion first and then I'll see what people are saying. It's like with Scream 7. I didn't watch a review or read a review of Scream 7 until I saw it. So, sometimes stuff on fucking, on social media, but like you'll see like little drips and drabs and you try to avoid it. But I wait till after and then I see what other people are thinking because, you never know. And I don't like to like have my view hurt, like, and because I don't ever want to feel like I have to fit in line with everybody else. If I liked Scream 7, I would have told you. Even though it seems like I'm more in the majority. Like if I didn't like it though, it is what it is. My favorite you already read that. Let's talk in a minute. How do you feel about Danny McBride and producing future Joe movies? I'm interested. Danny McBride is very surprised to me. I always really enjoy his producing work, his writing work, and his acting work. Really talented guy. So I'd be very interested to see what they do. The tagline to Matador should be "Keep it twisted, John." I hope you'll see it. I will see it since you recommended it. When I saw Super, I actually liked the first time, but every time I watch it now, it gets worse and worse and worse. The James Gunn one. I only saw it the once. I thought it was good. I don't know if I'll run back. That's my thoughts on the new Superman. I mean, it was okay, but I've never been the biggest Superman fan. Did Max Landis get canceled? I heard that, but I'm not entirely too sure. But anyway, guys, I gotta go make dinner, watch the newest episode of Scrubs, and then go to bed because I have to also get up very early for work. But I appreciate you guys all being in here. Always have fun doing this show. I look forward to it every single week. You guys all show up for it. Thank you so much. We'll be back next Wednesday at 6:45 for the same stuff. Got some videos coming out here on the channel in the next few days. Top 10 movies that deal with social issues. You'll see that one. That was from Mr. Smelly Potato, our channel bankroll member. My review of Death Stalker. That's coming out. And then on Tuesday, I want to say it will be everything I saw in February rank. But don't forget to go over to the Let's Talk Movies podcast page with David, aka Shamrock Balls, and I. Subscribe there so you can see another live show on Monday with both of us. I'll post the link again right here so you guys could check that out as well. So got plenty of it coming your way. So thank you guys. Hope you guys all have a great night, and I'll see you around. Hi, Obi.